Triple E EDC here, back with another sharpening video. I just put one up earlier today that showed my first attempt on a Boker Kalashnikov in CTS-XHP, and I did an okay job, and I realized as I went through it that I did not really say everything that I needed to say in order to really give you guys enough information on what I was doing and what worked and what didn't work. And I thought it was doing you a favor by not doing that because I was doing things wrong to begin with. But, you know, I think you should see my process, and that way I can get tips from you guys and you can get tips from me and learn from me, and we can all learn and support each other. So I'm showing you what I got on my setup here. I got a Wicked Edge Go. I started out with the 200 grit here, and I then progressed to the 600 and the 800 and 1000. I went, and when I started with the 200, I would put it on here, obviously, and I'd go up and down like this until I got to a point where I could feel a burr. Then I went on the other side, same thing, same number of strokes until I got a burr also with the 200 grit. And then once I got the burr on the other side, I went and I would knock off the burr with a motion like this, going an even number of strokes. And when I would make the stroke, I'd make the stroke, pull it back, and then come back and make another stroke rather than go back and forth, because if you go back and forth, you're hitting the middle more times than you're hitting the edges. So this knife, I hit a nick one time cutting off a metal bead off a pair of jeans. It was one of those chains. I thought that was not metal, and so I really dug hard into it. Then I realized it was metal, and there was a little bit of a nick in the blade. I sharpened it out once. It was still a little bit there, and I also didn't really know good enough about what I was doing sharpening. I ended up having to go through and do this one twice because one of the things that I forgot that you have to do when you're going through and sharpening is make sure these joints right here are tight, because they will loosen up as you go back and forth. And I think that we need to remember that that's something that probably should be Loctited when we do this setup. In any event, you can see I got the clamp here so that this doesn't move. I've got this stuck in here, and I use the key here in order to set where the knife needs to go. I got it here, and now I've already sharpened it. I've gone through my progressions, 200, 600, 800, 1000, and let's go ahead and test it. First, you want to loosen this a little bit, then you want to go and loosen this, all while holding the knife because you don't want it to fall. Now, a lot of people will tape these. I probably should tape it, but that's okay. You can sort of see what's going on here with the edge. I think it looks pretty good so far. Now we'll see if it cuts. And this is magazine paper, so this is even harder to cut than regular paper. I'm not seeing any catches like I was with the CTS-XHP Boker Kalashnikov, and the fact that this had a catch in it earlier, I'm hoping that it's that's me, not the blade, that it's sharpened out now. Oops. Let's see if I can get a good start on this. Yep. That's me. That was me again. It's hard to do on. There we go. So I can still feel the catching a little bit, but for the most part, this is much sharper than it was. And I'm going to go back in now. I think I'm going to open the knife up because this is a ball bearing lock, and clean it out. I'm worried that a whole bunch of metal shavings got in here. So I'll go ahead and do that, and thanks again for tuning in. I'm glad to have you guys watching on the channel. Please go ahead and subscribe. Leave a comment if you have any tips or anything that you want to leave for anybody. and I look forward to talking with you guys more. Again, subscribe, like, comment, and have a great day.